Okay, 6.2, solving quadratic equations using the square root method. So in this method, we're applying the radical properties. So it says find all the real solutions of the equation g squared equal to 4, and then write your solutions of the list using commas to separate them. So remember, g squared equals 4. If I am taking the square root, because they want us to use the square root method, you're taking the square root of both sides. Remember, when you take the square root of an equation and you have a plus minus situation occurring. So I get plus and minus 2. So my solutions would be -2, comma, +2. On the next one, it says solve the parentheses t plus 2 squared equal to 1 using square root method. So again, same situation. Take your original. When you take the square root of both sides, you get t plus 2 escaping from the left, equaling a plus minus situation. This plus minus situation is because we're taking the square root of both sides. So then we subtract the two. We're going to set up two equations. We're going to say t plus 2 equals +1, and then t plus 2 equals -1 because it's a plus minus. And then subtract the 2 over. So t is equal to -1, subtract the 2 over, t is equal to -3. So your two solutions are going to be -1, -3. So I would list the smaller number first in this instance. So our set is -3, comma, -1. Usually you go in form of a number line. Next example. So in this one, it has binomial 6v plus 5 squared equaling 25. So again, 6v plus 5 squared equaling 25. You're taking the square root of both sides. So we have 6v plus 5 escaping equaling plus minus 5. Again, write your two separate equations. 6v plus 5 equals +5. 6v plus 5 equaling -5. Subtract 5 over. 6v equals 0, so that means v is equal to 0 because 6 times 0 gives us 0. On this one, we're subtracting 5 over. 6v equals now -5, and -5 is -10. Divide both sides by 6. So I get -10 over 6, which reduces. Notice that both of these are even numbers, so they're divisible by 2. And we get -5 over 3. So your two solutions are going to be -5/3, comma, 0. Next example. So it says solve the equation using square root. If possible, simplify the radicals. And they should all be exact. So in this instance, we have s plus 9 squared equaling 93. When you take the square root of both sides, s plus 9 escapes, and we get plus and minus radical 93. 93 is not a perfect number. 93, it does not simplify any further because if I factor out a 3, you get 33 and 3. 11 and 3. So in this instance, we cannot, if I divide by 31 and 3, sorry. 31 and 3, 31 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, so we cannot reduce this. It stays as a radical in this instance. Subtract the 9 over. So s is equal to -9 plus minus radical 93. So your two solutions, depending on the homework system, if they just want the actual physical values, you're just going to put the -9 and a 93 for your input values. If not, this is how you would write your entire solution piece. Next example. So in this one, we have 9j squared equaling 81. Now, before we can do the square root property, make sure you isolate the variable by itself. So you're going to divide both sides by 9 first. So j squared is equal to 81 divided by 9, which is 9. Then take the square root of both pieces. So j is equal to plus and minus 3. So you would enter your answer as -3, comma, +3.